How you doing? Are you ready for it?
Oh, I'm eating, but yeah. Welcome.
No. Welcome to the Player Podcast. Yeah.
How did we do it last time?
I don't know, but let's just roll with that. That's
all right.
It was good. That was
What's
good.
Up,
that
y'all?
Worked. So yes, we're
happy whatever day it is.
Back at it here. Another week. Another fun, action-packed, good time.
And we got stickers.
Yep, you got stickers.
If y'all want a sticker,
yes.
Are mics loud enough? Yeah, these are loud enough.
I think so. Is it hitting?
I don't know.
Look on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
now it is. If you talk into it and you're not out
headphones
here,
got
hey
turned
guys,
down.
if you're not on the...
Oh, it's probably because I got this hoodie on, or beanie on.
Okay.
It's muffling my ear holes.
You got it.
If y'all want a sticker, order something from Sam.
That's right.
And it'll throw one in with your order.
On eBay or whatnot when we run a show.
I thought I was going to be like, hit up Sam and he'll send you one for free.
I mean, I'm down to hook up friends and stuff and people around, but they're going to be some of those new stickers, which we got the two different logos for the pod will be at some card shows coming up. There's some card shows down in LA. I'm giving them to some friends. There's been a lot of card shows lately. Card shows I've been hearing from people from boots on the ground. Cards are still moving.
Popping off?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I listen to a lot of sports card stuff on, YouTube talking about cards and, we're in the bubble. It's going to blur, blah, blah, blah. They've been saying that now for quite a while. I mean, you've heard it. It's been a minute now. I can even remember over a year ago, I did an interview for some guy's podcast and he was doom and glooming at that point. And dude, it keeps on rolling. You know what I mean? And I don't think that, yes, there's definitely some sort of but I don't see it drastically popping and everything just crumbles into the ground.
Well, it's kind of interesting compared to crypto or stocks or something where that one thing is worth a set price. It's every card's worth a different price, and
correct.
they're depending on what they're grading
or raw.
Yeah. And so it's probably harder for it to make a market adjustment over the whole trading cards because there's so many points. It's where would you look at to be this is declining or something, or no cards are selling? How would you tell?
So a lot of people, from what I have seen, is people say the ultra modern stuff, the stuff that I collect, the newer basketball stuff is the stuff that's just going to tank, and you need to be in vintage. Pretty much that's the the sentiment that I see a lot is everything vintage, and make sure you get the GOATs. The movie with Steph Curry, make sure you get guys like that. That's who you should be buying. And, to some extent, I get that. And people are these other cards aren't going to be worth anything in 10 years or whatever. I don't know if that's necessarily true, though, because if you look back at some of these older PMG cards, even the dud players or the non-desirable players are still worth a grip of money. And so if you equate that to flawless stuff, some of these players that, even though, and I'm talking about quality guys, they're going to be worth some money. I don't know. I still think they're not going to just go down to nothing. There's going to be a market for them somewhere, especially when you're talking about stuff like Flawless or some of these brands where they number every card. The most you're going to get is numbered to 25. If there's only 25 of them in the world or whatever, and I know there's different variations. There's a numbered to 10 and a numbered to 5. It's still not a lot of cards. I just saw something that came out this week that we're talking about Topps baseball cards. Guess how many they were printing of them? You're never. I don't think you're going to have any idea of the whole. This is what they printed of last year. The Topps, if you take down not the amount of boxes, but baseball. Now we're talking baseball cards.
Recent though.
Yes.
Okay.
The total amount of them that they printed for one product for the Topps baseball.
Like a million cases?
400 million
What?
and something cards.
Okay.
Individual cards. Like
Crazy.
407. And I think it was even more for this upcoming year. It's like 580 million.
And do the baseball ones also have like limited?
Yep,
like,
yep,
you know?
100%. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
and that's the problem. I've seen with the new top stuff, which I'm still not sold on it. I'm still not into it. But is that there are so many freaking different numbered cards and parallels, which is something that honestly the consumer has kind of created in a way because people get tired of getting dusted on boxes and they want something that's with value. And in order to print as much as they do to make sure every box has got some sort of value, which is not possible, you know what I mean? They have to make more numbered stuff, make more harder to hit cards. And so it's like, it's a catch-22 kind of thing. It is what it is. So,
but do they have like really? Because when you're saying buy vintage stuff, it's like, well, how many of those were getting made? How many
that's
of those were getting
another.
printed?
I mean, and if you
Do
look
we
at like
know?
some of the population, so like if you look at graded populations of cards, like let's say,
Yeah, no, we looked at this last week, right? Like,
well,
you
like
pulled up,
older ones though.
but
Vintage.
no, but you pulled up that one, and it was like you're like, how many times has this been graded?
Oh yeah, and
was
the
like
Ken
some
Griffey Jr. card.
Yeah, it was like an insane amount.
Like if you take like an iconic card, I just want to do this real quick. Like the 1952 Mickey Mantle,
right?
like Mickey Mantle here. Let's see. I'm curious on this, like, because that's what everyone's always preaching: vintage, 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 vintage. Like that's the most, and you've probably seen this card before, which I'll put it up on this. That's an iconic card, right?
Yeah.
If I go to like the population on PSA, for instance, I'm going to type this in because I'm curious to see, because like how can you compare that to a card that's numbered to 25 of like LeBron or some, you get what I'm saying? When let's see how many of those there are, because I have a feeling that there's going to be
which source are you going to that would tell you how many there are or how many?
So this is going to tell how many are graded PSA.
Okay.
So I'm going 1952 Mickey Mantle.
And how are you seeing this? What is it on?
On on just a regular app, and I'm putting.
Do you have to be a subscriber?
You don't have to have not to do this.
Okay.
So here it is, the 1952 Topps Mickey Mantle. So of that card, if you look at the population, so there are. Oh, it's loading. It's loading.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
Okay. Here, let me ask Chat. How many graded? That's a good idea. Here, graded. How many graded by PSA 1952 Mickey Mantle baseball cards are there in circulation? Okay, they're looking. Okay, here we go. So of that Mickey Mantle, now it says there are 2,075 copies of that. So that's in any grade, right? Of like a 10, there's only 3.
Wow.
There's only a handful of 9s.
What are those going for now?
A lot, millions. For the 10 or for the 9s and the 10, it's unbelievable what they are. They're crazy numbers. Yeah. So, but that tells you, so there's 2,000 of them out there, and then you've got a numbered card of a GOAT like a Steph Curry, and there's only 20 of them or what, so.
Yeah, but that's a lot older.
Of course, 100%, 100%. And back then, they didn't think that it was going to be worth anything. Totally. So that's the difference. But they also weren't charging $20,000 for a box of Flawless. It's like the $1 million question, though. Could we look into the crystal ball and see the future and say, no? I mean, but there's a lot of people out there squawking about how, none of this ultra modern stuff is going to be worth anything in 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think a lot of it will still be worth something, because if you look at, there's stuff even from 10 years ago that's still, valuable. Speaking of some of this, let's get to this. So I got a couple of little surprises today. I don't know where to go first, so I'm going to roll the dice.
What's in the box?
Let's see. That's the first one I'm going to go to. So
and I know
I recently,
it's because I've made you wait.
I know this pissed me off so bad. Actually,
it's like, no, just wait
so
to
excited.
open it on the show, bro.
I get this at my door. The ring thing goes off, and I'm like, what the hell? And there's somebody like running up there throwing something at the porch, And I had recalled, I forgot about this too, so it was also a double surprise. I got some sparkle packs from Panini, and they were from a redemption, which they gave me 2 new sparkle prism packs for this one Jabari Smith redemption auto, so it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna rip them here right now for you.
Yeah.
And sparkle packs. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Now there's 3 cards in each one of these little packs, and this is exciting for you because you've never really dealt with this. Right?
I've literally never
seen anything
a
like
pack
this.
ripped in person.
So these are sparkle. These are special. These are sparkle packs. You can only get these from Panini direct.
How many cards?
There's 3 cards in each pack.
That's insane.
Now, they're under $100 a pack usually. It depends on.
Is this what they shipped it to you in?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I've got 2 packs here, right? I have had really good luck with these, and then I've had terrible luck with these. Like last year, I got a bunch of them, and I killed it. I had 2 packs, and I got a Brandon Miller and a Keontae George, and they both gemmed, and they were rookies. It was awesome, you know.
Wow.
These ones, though, as of late, I am getting crushed.
So what's keeping like the corners from not getting bent in the pack and stuff?
They keep them pretty, like, you know. Well, it has to be put in something flat, you know.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Hold on.
Okay.
I want to while you open this, I'm gonna hold this over. How about that? And then we'll do a video so you can cut this in, right?
I mean, I'll figure out a way to do it.
No,
You don't have
that's
annoying.
No,
like
it's
that.
good. It's good. Do
Okay,
it.
let's see. This is going to be major disappointment. Or a close up of my face, being like, okay, right out. Okay, right out the back. Look at that. That's a little Magic Johnson on the backside. I shouldn't have spilled the beans though. Oh, that's number 2. Okay, let's see what we got. So let's see. See, when I open them, though, it's going to show the next one.
Is
That's
this
the problem.
what people do? Is they flip them?
Or they sweat it. It's called sweating. Like they
Sweating.
go, oh, what? We see. Who's that?
And then you drop
a little
like
magic.
drop
A little
the
magic.
dubstep.
Yeah, where's the drop? And this is a blue sparkle, and it's numbered too. So sparkles that are numbered are also extra good, right?
Yeah,
little magic, you know.
Nice.
So let's move on to the next here. Let's see what we got here. Number 2. Come on. Jeremy Grant, red sparkle. I'm not a big Grant fan. He's not the worst player. It could be worse. Let's see what the last one is here. And okay, LaMelo. This isn't a bad hit at all. I don't like LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
That might end up being a giveaway out there.
Givey.
You know what?
We got a Givey.
Let's fire up the Givey. So I want that card. No, well, we're gonna figure out some way to get this. I'm gonna give this away because I do not like
that
ball. And
coin.
Give me that card. So the first one in the comments, the top comment that says "Give me that card," I will send. Since the guy that never got the coin, I know you're watching this, dude. I know I still got that Space Jam.
You won, bro. You won.
Come on, man. But you can get this LaMelo Ball, Red Spark, and Jeremy Grant for that matter. I'm keeping Magic, all right? But there you go. You can get that LaMelo. I got a top loader over here, so I'm going to make sure it's in good condition. So that's pack number 1. Yeah, 3 cards. Let's see, number 2. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's treat me right. Treat me right. I've been striking out with these like lately. We need a hit. Come on. Give me a Stephon Castle. Come on. Call my shot. Let's see what we got on the back. Oh no. Oh shit. This is the top one. It's a numbered one at least. Numbered TJ McConnell. Yeah. I'm not even going to comment really on that.
Sorry,
Let's
TJ.
see the next one. Come on. Big money. Give big money. Come on. What the Goober, Rudy Gobert.
Sorry, Rudy.
Come on, Stephon. I don't even.
What is it? Who is it?
I don't even.
Some guy.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yep. Sorry, Gilbert.
Where's the big thumbs down that I do?
Wah.
Yeah, so you know what? Like this stack of cards and that's actually some value right there. So whoever, I'm keeping Magic I got a really cool old school Magic card that I'm gonna put that next to. It's one that's is current events, 1992, and it says AIDS and has a picture of Magic Johnson. Nice. One of my favorite cards. I'm gonna show that up on the screen right now. It's a classic card. I love it. It's I actually created a market for this card because I was going on eBay buying them all a few years ago, and then people start jacking the prices. They were like $1 or $2. Now they're like $10 and stuff. Like I did that. So you can have all of these. Give me that card. You can put in the comments. I mean, you don't have to put that, but I'd like it if you did. So these can all be yours. I will put them in top loaders and sleeved up. In fact, I'm going to get these out of here so they are in good condition. But that's ripping. What do you think as your first pack?
That was kind of
lackluster.
Yeah, it's kind of a letdown.
Yeah,
I would have been pissed.
But that's the normalcy of it.
Yeah, but those go for like what, like $100 a pack?
No, under like 60 or 70. Like, that's dude, if I would have paid, I mean, dude, and this is nothing. Like anyone who knows that rips packs or gets into breaks and stuff, like this is just par for the course right here. Like this is getting dusted is what happens, or cooked, as they say.
Right.
It's just a part of the game. You know what I mean? Remember last week we played that video of the PSA guy. And there's this guy, and he's like, "Oh, PSA's in the news again. Like, let's open it up and stuff." And like, he was a cool guy, and he was the Pokemon guy, and he was talking about how the guy sent the cards in to PSA, and then they did the switcheroo on his Pokemon.
Was that last week or the week before?
Maybe it was the week before, yeah. But if you recall, I can play that. It's like a 3-minute long video, so I'm not going to play it again. What I am going to play though is the new video. So there was an update to this, and if you don't recall. We both called sus on this because the guy sent an email to PSA prior saying, "Could you make sure that this is not the black one? Like this is the one with the blue box." And it was like so obvious, dude. So they came out with the second video, and I'm gonna play this video. Channel. The same guy, everything, and I'm gonna play this video. I got it. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you what happened afterwards because you know your boy couldn't just sit and watch this and like not put a comment on the stuff. This is why I stay off social media for the most part, because I can't take these people and their BS. So here, let me pull this up here. The video. Yep, here it is. Yep, here he is. Here he is. Lovely. Here you go.
We have an update from PSA, guys, and just to recap part one, the card that was submitted was the Topps Charizard with the blue stamp. You can see the Topps logo is blue, and the card that PSA scanned in was the Topps logo with the black label, right? And there's different ones. There's the blue, there's green, I think there's a pink, and then the black one. And the blue one is the first print, so the most expensive print and the rarest print. After some emailing back and forth, they basically said that the blue label turned black because of the resolution of the camera and the scanner camera. And that was all. So they would pull the card off the assembly line and show us, that it was already still your blue card, basically. And that's where the story left off weeks ago. So they finally got replies. So it came down to it that they were very adamant that the card is no longer a blue label, and the whole story of the resolution of the camera turning into a black label is now just another fabricated lie. And they said that basically they have footage that it came in as a black labeled Topps logo, and they're not able to provide the full footage, but they'll provide screenshots. So just like any other normal person, so he replied, rather than snippets, please provide the full footage, just so it shows that it's not edited. And this is what they provided. No footage. It's very small screenshots of the footage. These basically the cards being taken out of the box. They highlighted the square where they show that it's a black label. Then they provided this one as well. They put a bunch of arrows on it. Again, some arrows down here. Black label Topps, black label Topps. And you can see his Yu-Gi-Oh card that's in this photo as well. And you can see in the submission, he submitted that Yu-Gi-Oh card. So it is his submission. And then they follow up to reply to him that please be advised that while you provided images of the blue labels, these do not serve as definitive proof. And I don't know, one could say the same thing for what they provided. I feel like that's not definitive proof. What if the card was already swapped, when they took those photos? Or, edited the blue out. Hence, they proceeded to grade his black label Topps Charizard. It got a PSA 9, and that's where the story wrote. So even with, him providing photos that he submitted in blue label Topps Charizard.
About himself in third person.
That too.
He's the one that submitted all this, so he could break this story.
Yeah. Dude.
Because he said us at some point.
I know.
They say he doesn't have definitive proof, and that's it.
And the card's
gone.
now. It's gone.
What do you guys think about this story? Personally, I think it was very bad customer service on their part. He's providing screenshots, he's providing proof, he's providing emails beforehand, making sure that his card gets graded correctly, and poof, his card disappears. So now he has this lower graded one, lower quality one, lower priced one, and lower cost one.
Dude, F that guy. Seriously, that guy is so full.
I had a feeling at the last. I had a feeling when we watched the first one that it was him. Like I was like,
I mean, that's not. That doesn't. That's besides the point. I get that, but dude, I'm sorry, but you are full of crap, guy. That is they show you screenshots of them because this is how it works. When you send them the cards, they have videos making sure that because I've had problems with them in this. I lost a card, or they lost a card of mine, and they had video, and they showed me the video just like they did with him. Come to find out, I found it later. I misplaced it. But okay. Right there in the video, do you really think they got just stacks of these rare cards that they're switching them out? And I mean, come on, dude. And it's if you're going to be suspect of that, I mean, who's to say we need to go to I mean, it's just everything, dude. Where does you draw the line?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think necessarily we should have a ton of trust in companies.
But this guy, I think this is total piling on, and it's a waste of resources too, because the time they have to take to do this is why my damn cards are taking so long, because of this off. Seriously, everyone, that's the thing. It's we should question people, but because of guys like this, my cards are taking so much longer because they have to have manpower to take people away from doing honest work because of this off, to be oh, clearly you were trying to, no one sends a effing email and says,
that was all super weird.
That is because you can't even do that because you don't have a cert number on the card.
Just the guy's style of how he's presenting all this totally makes me feel like it also is similar to how the email was written, and I'm like, it's him.
He's just the guy's just look at though, he's getting 10,000 likes on this, and the comments are just all people being I sent a card there too, and they probably did that to mine, and oh my god. And you know what it all comes down to? Pokemon. You don't see this with sports cards, I'm sorry, but not like this. Not where this, you don't see some off putting out a video every other week making up something about sports cards. I'm sorry, but you don't.
We need to have a whistleblower at PSA.
I'm sure they probably do. Do they have a whole comp? I mean,
if you work at PSA and you're opening these oh my God, things getting sent into you, and you know that they're switching out blue label Pokemon cards for black ones
of a Charizard,
hit us up. We will give you a reward if you can break that on our channel. We'll give you this Space Jam coin that this other guy
that is not going to. And by the way, the time limit on that claiming that it's pretty
about
much
to
up.
Expire, bro.
By the time this episode's released, if I don't hear a little bit more about this,
then we're giving it to
we're gonna
a
have
PSA
to donate
whistleblower.
to the whistleblower from PSA.
The PSA gate. Whoever's breaking PSA gate on here.
And then what's even worse is this guy, then he doubles down with even more videos just bagging on PSA. This guy has a whole channel, basically. I don't even know if I want to play this next one because, actually I do. I really do, because it just shows the schmuckery of this dude. I'm going to play this one for you. Here's the next one.
Swear to God, they have to be doing this on purpose at this point. Let's get right into it. The story has been floating around all over the internet for the past few days. I cover a PSA story probably every 2 days at this point. Yeah, because you have nothing else to do. And they're grading fake slabs at this point. And I advocate for Chinese slabs often. I do, because I think Chinese is very exclusive.
Chinese slabs are cards.
I think it's going to do really well down the line. And they discovered that this slab is a fake slab graded by PSA.
A fake card?
This one right here is a real Chinese Pikachu. You can see right here, that's a period. And the biggest telltale sign is down there in the bottom left corner. You can kind of see almost like a holographic imprint. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit closer. So I can't zoom in closer, but you can see right here, you kind of see like a holographic imprint. It's how you tell a Chinese card is real. This is the fake one they graded. And don't get me wrong, the period turned into a comma, very hard to tell. But come on, look at the imprint. The imprint that we would essentially be able to tell if a Chinese slab is real, this one right here, is completely missing. It's gone. All this to say, guys, is please be
13
careful when
years
shopping
old
for Chinese PSA
lives
slabs.
in his
God knows how many of
parents'
these they have missed. And I don't make these videos because I'm PSA's biggest hater. Well, actually, you know what? Probably am. But I make these more for awareness. I want you guys to be buying things that are transparent, that are accurate. You know, if you're going to be adding things to your collection, at least add the good things. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments.
I told you what I thought of your video in the comments, bro. Dude, I can't take this kind of nonsense, man. Like, this guy, he's like, these are Chinese slabs. What? You mean the card is a Chinese card, not a like? You get what I'm saying here, right?
Yeah, he's just rambling.
The guy's just so full of it. But the problem is that people are eating this up. Like, nom, nom, nom.
Because it's Pokemon.
Oh, dude.
There's a bunch of kids watching that.
I mean, you know, and that was just some of the recent videos that I've seen this week that just incensed me. There's another one going around on the internet, which I don't even think I can handle playing this because it's that agitating as well. But of this Whatnot guy throwing a card and blowing up on, well, now I got to kind of play the video because it's on every freaking Whatnot or every like influencer streamers talking about this. And so I'm going to play it for you because I want you to see it because I know you haven't. But I know everybody has seen this. I'm well aware of this, and I'm sorry for playing it, but I have to just real quick because I got to show my guy here. And we do have an awesome interview coming up as well, which is going to be really big today. We got a great interview coming, but I'm going to show you a quick little video. We're going to do one more video, and this involves Whatnot, so I think it's relevant right now of what's going on with stuff and things. So I refuse to play this video again, and rather than give this more promo, which I believe he is off Whatnot now for good. Yeah, you get to hear my voice right now for a moment as I play the video of the gentleman on Whatnot throwing a temper tantrum like a little baby and throwing the Stephen Curry card. Okay.
So does he have there's no way he can like not send that to the guy. Do people do that?
Okay,
ever?
yes, they do. But so here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna first off here's a couple of things I'm gonna break down for you about this video, some background. So first of all, the guy who made that video is a complete not the greatest. I'll leave it at that. But that video is from like 7 months ago.
Okay.
And it just magically had reappeared recently because somebody got like there's people in the sphere that are trying to slander Whatnot because they're going for an IPO or whatever coming up, and they're trying to like really just put a bad light on them, which they already have a black eye and stuff. I get that. That guy that made that video has since been kicked off of Whatnot now, which is fair. And the guy, I'm sure
for what?
Violating code of conduct. You know, and what's messed up about, I mean, there's so many things to unpack about what's messed up about the video. I'm not going to because I think it's common sense. What I thought was interesting is me in the comments with these idiots, like, because I'm like, dude, first of all, that video's old and who cares? Like, this is tired. Like, why are we just rehashing the same stuff over and over? And then so these guys start laying into me and the guy's like, I don't even use Whatnot. I'm like, then why are you making a video? Yeah. Like, what, if you don't use it, what? Like, you know, just the people, Whatnot, I know there's got a lot of haters out there. I personally, all these problems that you see, this is like 0.00001% of the actual stuff that's going on there. As someone that, I'm not here to say Whatnot is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but just know who you're buying from. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect? You know the people you're buying cards from. Same kind of deal. Don't buy them from...
Or knives or kids' telescopes.
Kids' telescopes that come in the wrong color.
Dude, I got that for free.
Oh, yeah. So what happened with that? You messaged them to send back the
telescope? Yeah, I was like,
hey,
this was supposed to be yellow, and you guys sent me a white one. And my daughter really wanted a yellow one.
They refunded you?
They were like, oh, sorry, just message Whatnot and get your refund. And so I was just like, okay.
So you got a free telescope out the deal?
Yeah, and the knives.
And why'd you get the knife set for free?
Because it said that the potato peeler was ceramic and it was plastic.
Oh, fair enough.
But I'm using
How
the
are the
knives.
knives?
They're actually really sharp.
So you got all your money. So you got all that stuff for free.
Yeah, I just got it all for free.
And this is not, by the way, this is not instructional video on how to do a grift on whatnot.
No, I mean, hey, listen, if they sold me something that wasn't some cheap knockoff stuff that like shouldn't.
How much was this?
There's probably
stuff?
a reason why this stuff wasn't even being sold on Amazon.
How much was it, by the way?
I think the telescope was like $25.
Okay. How much was the knife set?
It was cheap. I think I got it for like $11.
Okay. So like $2 a knife.
They were good knives for that cheap.
There you go. You get what you pay for on some things. Whatnot is always in the news. In fact, we got a gentleman coming on here today for our interview.
From Whatnot, or
a seller who sells some stuff on there, and then we got some other interviews coming up that are going to be really good, huh?
Didn't just rewind a second.
Yeah.
Didn't you mention a minute ago that like eBay's pushing the live?
Yes. So eBay
really
is really pushing the live selling. I mean, in America compared to like Asia or the rest of the world, we are kind of far behind the live selling trend. It's been going like as far as like. I've seen sales overseas in like Asia. It adds up to like 30% of their market. Yeah, live selling. Whereas in America, we're like at under 10% or some ridiculous low number. So now though, there's a huge push on it. eBay's got their live, which eBay versus Whatnot. I mean, it's similar, I guess you could say. eBay seems a lot more tame because you have to be vetted to get on the eBay. Like I applied to sell on eBay and they said no. Okay. Which is beyond me because I've sold a lot of stuff on Whatnot, but I guess I don't know. There's sellers on eBay that like are bigger sellers that are like, oh, come sell under our umbrella. And I'm just like, I don't want to do that. Yeah. No. And I'm sure I haven't looked at eBay. Like I signed up for it right when it started. But they also have that Probstein guy on there every day or every couple of days. My phone will ping and it'll be like, oh, Probstein is live selling, which, he had a full website and got caught with all these fake shill, accounts. Yeah. I use eBay a lot. I think that every one of these platforms has pros and cons.
I don't want eBay to be our sponsor.
Well, they're not knocking on our door anyway. I mean, I'm just saying. I'd love eBay to be a sponsor. Yeah. I mean, why not, dude? I mean, they got deep pockets and stuff.
They've always treated me right, but I've never had any problem. I've always been really reluctant as a seller on eBay just because I've seen so many things where like it seems any of these platforms that seem really, I guess I was always selling like high ticket things like synthesizers that it was like really like if you sent someone a high ticket item like that and the eBay was so customer sided with the customers.
Yes, that's been a huge problem.
You could get totally screwed as 100%, a seller,
100%.
like shipping some super expensive synthesizer.
And I've had people try to do that to me. And I've had and eBay though, honestly, I had one recently where somebody in the UK purchased a card and I shipped it, everything, no problem. A couple weeks later, they came back to me and were like, yeah, that card, I didn't order that. Somebody else used my credit card, yada, yada. I was just like, well, dude, I shipped that like a month ago, right? And they filed a claim and everything. And it said the eBay, like a claim was opened. And eBay sent me this whole thing about how they had my back. And like they were really on a high horse about this because the guy was full of crap, and they sided on my side. They didn't even pull the money out because I've had that happen before where even until the investigation's done, they'll yank back the money, which is really awful. Yeah. And I don't know if they're doing that all the time now because so many people have complained because that's happened to me. I've complained. Recently though, I had actually an incident with eBay where I purchased a card. And it went to their authenticity department.
Oh, you told me about
Well, no, I had another one that just happened like last week. No. So this card was in a sealed mag, a one-touch mag, which is, it was aftermarket put into that. And then whoever, the breaker or whatever, who gave it to the seller to sell, they had put their little logo thing on top of the mag, right? So I received it. When I got it, it still had that on there, but it went through the authenticity department. So what does that tell me? The authenticity department did
Didn't
not
take
open
it
it
out,
up
yeah.
and look at the actual card.
Right.
And of course, when I did that, the card was significantly damaged. And so I contacted eBay. I said, listen, I want to return this. And so then, and I sent them pictures, blah, blah, blah. And then, so they got back to me, and I actually had a phone call with them. They called me because they're like, yeah, since it went through authenticity, we don't just give out refunds. And I'm like, well, dude, look at the picture. They didn't even look at this card like you say they're supposed to.
Right.
That's the whole thing, because I had another one where the card was damaged and they were like, do you want this? Because it wasn't listed on the description. And I was like, no. But in this situation, since it already went through authenticity, they were not having any of me saying that it was damaged. And I was just like, dude, though, they didn't even open it to look at it. Like, how can you tell me? And then they gave me $50 off the $300 card, and that was it. Like, I had no other say in it. Like, I couldn't rebuttal that or any.
Wow.
No. And I was really kind of shocked by that, because it was clearly like, if you've got a sticker on there, that means the authenticity department they just went, oh, cool. And didn't like examine the card like they
Right.
do the other ones. I was pissed, honestly. So that's something that eBay needs to work out, because that's not cool. You know,
So the sticker, what do you mean? There's a sticker like over where you would pull the card
open it
out?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
on the one touch clip here, I don't have one in there, but there's a little magnet on top.
Okay.
And so people put like a sticker, like when you buy a new Flawless card, they have a custom Flawless sticker. This was like a Breakers custom sticker that they put on top of there, so you couldn't open it. And if once you rip it off, you can't put it back on. You get what I'm saying?
But is the authenticity department at eBay supposed to open that?
Well, they're supposed to examine the cards, yes, because I had another card recently. It was a blank slate LeBron James that they had hit me up when it went to authenticity, and they said, listen, this corner is destroyed and the card's bent. They didn't list that in the description. Do you still want this card? Because it's not going to pass authenticity, but you can still have the card, which they used to just deny it. And I said, no, I don't want it because it's messed up. And so they sent it back to the seller and gave me my full money back.
Huh.
In this situation, and it was just crappy because
You would have done that with this one.
oh, hell yeah. And, you know, they called me and they were all attentive and stuff. And once they made their decision, done. They didn't want to hear anything else about it. And I even wrote them in an email before that happened, being like, look, this was sealed. There's no way.
Dude, I can't stand that when companies are like, sorry, our hands are tied. It's like, no, this is literally
Totally.
there's someone I got to be able to talk to. This just happened with me at Apple. Mm-hmm. There's this like stupid app. It was like Settlemate or something, right? That was like, we'll find all of the.
I knew you told me
We'll
about
find
this.
all of the
Class actions?
Yeah, class actions
Yes.
that you owe you money. And so I was like, and it was something dumb. It was like $20 a year, and I was like, okay, like let's do it. And so I did it, and then immediately it was like, you need to give us access to your email and your bank account so we can scour them for your return, for your class actions.
he didn't.
And I was like, no,
I'm good.
And so it's like, because you're not letting us into your bank accounts and email accounts, we've only found this one. And it was like this one. And I think I like applied for it. It was like an Instagram one, right? And they were like, we'll get you in touch with the law firm, And then these guys send me this thing, and it's like, please sign this. The law firm sent this to me. They're like, please sign this thing because we need access to your therapy records.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, your medical records?
Yeah,
They wanted your medical.
Yeah, I was
No
just
way.
like, this is all like some crazy data harvesting scam.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
And
then so you tried to get your money back?
So I tried to do it literally like 5 minutes later or something. I was like, okay, this is all a scam.
Yeah.
So I got on, I Googled like, how do you get your money back from Apple?
What'd they say?
And I did it, and it said like, I applied for a refund for $20. And I was like, we'll get back to you. And then, whenever later they were like, sorry, we've reviewed it, and you don't get, you're denied. And so I was like, appeal. It was like, would you like to appeal? And I'm like, well, yeah, let's appeal. So I appealed.
They don't care.
And I explained it to them, how it was like a bait and switch kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I was like denied again. And so finally, like So then the other day, this is like 3 months ago.
Yeah, I
or
remember
something.
you told
so
me
then
about
the other
this a
day,
while ago.
I was like, the app wasn't even in my phone, and I like saw some other class action thing. I'm like, well, maybe I'll try that since I already paid for it for a year.
Yeah.
I tried to download the app, and it's like this thing pops up that's like, you need to update app. And so I click on it, and it takes me to the app store, and it's like, this app's not available in your country. And so then I Google Settlemate, and it's like, Settlemate's only available in the US. I'm like, well, I don't have a VPN
So they
on.
blocked
Like,
you or something.
no, the app's not even available. And so I've been on the phone with like Apple.
Wow, that's odd.
They talked to me. They needed me to like agree to let them, the Apple engineers, like
this is a
access my phone.
Jeez, dude.
And they're like going through my phone, and they're like, yeah, this is odd. And I'm like, can I just have my $20?
Yeah,
back,
for
you guys?
$20.
I was on the phone for like over an hour with these.
Wow. Did you
fools.
get what happened at the end? Did you get your money back?
They were like, we can't look into this further until you update your iOS. I'm like, it's like one thing back. It's not like it's ancient.
Oh my god.
And they're like, please call us once you update
And then we can talk about getting your
OS.
$20.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And so I updated it the other day, and I checked again.
Oh
and
no.
Same thing.
Same thing.
I haven't called them yet though, but
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
gonna
you don't
get-
wanna
I'm
waste
gonna-
another couple
no,
hours.
I'm gonna waste another hour. I'm gonna get my $20 back.
Oh my goodness gracious! I hope you
Principle,
do.
on
You're gonna have to.
principle.
Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know how that one works
Yeah,
out.
we'll
I just had a PSA order that should be back next week, so we'll have some PSA stuff. I've got the submission for C3 grading. The one I'm gonna ship off. Yeah, I'm gonna make a little reel about that.
Okay.
You will see that popping up. Just showing the cards real quick that I'm sending in. The wonderful people over at C3, we're gonna give it a shot, see how it goes.
send them a couple stickers in with it.
Oh, I'll put some stickers in. Yeah. Since the price hike at PSA, I have not submitted any cards to PSA. So that you know,
I thought you said you were getting some in.
I have some coming in, but I haven't submitted any new submissions.
Got it.
Yeah, what is there right now, and I haven't put any new stuff out there to them. Just because, you know, they need to feel, I mean, there's got to be more of us that submit a lot of cards right now that are pulling back. I mean, I've heard of people that are now using other companies because of the dismay and all the nonsense that's going on, and not like that guy talking about. I mean, real, actual nonsense with the price hikes. Just that alone, you know, is frustrating enough for me, anyways. But that's what's going on there. We what else? I mean, yeah, it's been a kind of a busy week, but it's flown by. You know, the month is flying by. We're into March already.
Yeah, like first week of
Oh my
World War
gosh.
III.
Oh yeah.
So I just want to, I just want to say for the record that like the fact that we are not talking about the war in Iran or the government or the Epstein files or anything,
Yes.
in no way is about us being pussies. You can bleep
Are you talking
that
about
out.
me?
No, both of
Us?
us.
Why
I'm
are
just
we being
saying.
pussy?
I'm just saying. Listen.
Okay.
For me, like this show is refreshing.
Yeah,
it's,
I get to
it's like a
escape that
breath of fresh
bullshit.
air.
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm not
like
here to-
I'm watching the news and like, you know, watching podcasts on everything in the
Yeah.
global events like way too much.
I don't want to bug people about
And
that. There's enough of
no.
that crap everywhere. We're not going to do that to people.
No. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
this, and that's kind of for us. Like we don't need to use this platform to
No.
make a bunch of
No,
noise.
this is to enjoy something away from all that, man.
Yeah.
And that's what that comes back to what the card hobby is escaping the bullshit and monotony of life and
Yeah.
things that we deal with on the outside. Because I hope that when people listen to this, they have 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it is. I hope you listen to every single episode. You can like
What are
listen
we
to
up-
them
up to
sequential.
episode 9?
We're at
Is it-
9. Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. So I mean, you could sit down if you got some time on your hands. You're taking a road trip. You've got 6 hours of coverage right now.
Nice.
Just of, I mean, how would you not like to be in a car and enjoying with us there in the ride with you the whole time? You know what I'm saying? Like enjoying that. Is a thumbs down coming out? No, you know, yeah, but no, we're not. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to promote cards and talk about cards and maybe a different take on some of this card stuff that's going on, because I think a lot of the noise out there is the same. I mean, you don't know how many times I see the same exact post from every influence person or whatever about cards, and that's why I avoid a lot of these topics that people are talking about, because it's the same just crap, you know. Topps did come out with a new release this week, I believe. Topps, remember how we had showed that top? This is what's messed up. You know that a couple episodes back we showed the Topps release schedule for basketball cards, right? So I'm going to go to their website, because they're releasing a lot of stuff that was not on the...
Have the prices dropped on boxes?
Oh,
of
hell
any
no.
Of those? No.
So they have a new product out, which is called C3 Basketball. Okay, now listen to this one. So this is a la 1-in-1, which is a Panini product where you would get 2 cards in one of those one-touch sealed ones that we're just talking about. Okay. Topps 3 Basketball just released, and you get 3 cards, like as in maybe you're hitting a 3. I don't know where the 3 comes in, but you know, so for those, or no, excuse me, 4 cards. My apology. Why is it called Topps 3 then? It's 4 cards in a box. Topps 3 Basketball gives you 4 cards. I don't know. Anyways, it's going for right now on some trading card market, $1,900 a box.
Oh my god!
You can get. Oh, they have Easy Pay on here for $171 a month. You can get a box.
How many packs come in a box?
Well, no, there's only 4 cards in the box.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's 4 cards in the box. Topps 3 has 4, because like Panini has a product called 1-in-1.
That's $1,900 for 4 cards.
Yeah, I mean that's that. Yeah, it doesn't. I want to see pictures of the cards though. That's why I was going to go to the Topps website and see. But yeah, so that new product came out. Topps Finest also came out, which is never been like the finest. I don't know. That's retailing right now. It looks like for $875 on these, and this is all on the secondary market from the they have Breakers Delight, which is a different product for breakers to rip. I want to see the pictures. Where's the Topps 3 Basketball pictures? Here, let's look this up, because I want to see. Here, I'm going to put up some of these other Topps, the Finest. So I want you to see the graphic design on this stuff. Here, Topps 3 Basketball. Let's see the pictures. Okay. So images of this. Okay, here we go. That's last year's Topps 3. Let's see. What the heck? So Topps 3. Last year's top. Why can't I see these years? 25, 26, right? Okay, here we go. No, that's somebody trying to sell a box. God damn, $19.99 on the box. Okay, here's like a picture though. Okay, so this is like a Cooper Flag auto. It looks like, I think all the cards are numbered. Yeah, they're kind of cool looking.
That's
I'm not gonna lie.
The jersey on there. Is that what that is?
Is that what that is? Yeah. Yeah, that's an RPA. So that's kind of cool. Look at his jersey on there. So see, they're trying to be like a la the Panini cards. You can see that's a picture of him. Here's another card on there, and it's serial numbered, which I like. See the stamp. Nice. Yeah, it doesn't look. Is that a sticker? I can't really tell if that's a sticker or not. It doesn't look like it's a sticker. It looks like it's an on-card auto. Kind of hard to tell though, actually. So I can't. I think that is a sticker. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Here's another one that this does not look. Okay, so here's another RPA. This is number 1 of 3. Like, kind of a cool patch auto. Ace Bailey. He's one of the up and coming guys.
Is that part all gold that's on the top?
What's that?
Is that yellow part all like gold foil?
I don't know.
Or something?
I don't know if that is or not. It looks like it probably is. Then there's nice foils. I like the colors on the patch. Here's another insert. It looks like this is numbered to 5, which is, I'm sure that's a big card. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. There's no jersey or anything on that. But and then this is kind of okay. Rookie verse, like as in like universe. This looks pretty bad though. I'm gonna say badass, I should say. That patch auto, Victor Wembanyama. That's a cool looking card, I would have to say. And these are all on the screen as we're gonna be talking about them. Here's a Dylan, another auto. So these aren't bad looking cards by any means. Good. It looks like they're all serial numbered.
These are the ones that are 4 in a box?
Yeah, there's 4 of these in a box. So you probably get like, here, let me see what it says. Yeah, they're all numbered, so all the 4 cards are numbered, which is what people want. When you're getting the stuff in the packs and you're getting the 20 packs of cards, people these are the only cards that have value for the most part, the
Right.
ones that are serial numbered or autographed. And it looks like all of these are. So let's see, what does it say as far as, let's take
But
a
I mean,
look.
how do you know? I mean, I know it's a
4
gamble.
cards per pack, 3 of them are autographed.
But are those cards like going to go for over $500 a piece? Like,
Oh no, it depends on who you get.
Right.
Like, because if it's got 4 cards and 3 of them are autographs,
yeah,
I guarantee you in a lot of boxes, all 4 cards are not going to get you. I mean, the ROI on this stuff
Yeah.
is usually like 20%.
wow,
And unless you get like a really good one, and then like say you get like a LeBron auto, that's going to be like maybe a couple grand. I can look and see what they're going for. Cooper Flag right now, his autos are going for a couple grand at least.
okay,
It just depends on who you get. My problem, as you can see with these sparkle packs, is I get like, if that was the equivalent to this, my ROI on those two was far below 20%.
So are people doing those like what did you call them, like team rips or player
when
rips?
breaks, you mean?
player
When they're
breaks,
doing breaks, yeah.
where they're doing like, if you buy in, and then if
So they'll do a
if
couple
they pull
boxes.
that player, you
Yeah.
get that card.
Yes, they'll do like sometimes they'll do a case of that, so there'll be like 10 boxes in a case, so there'd be like 40 cards. Sometimes they'll do a couple boxes, but that's what sucks about those kind of breaks though. Like, even if you're doing a team break, there's going to be teams that are not. There's
Even in
nothing,
there,
so you
yeah.
get nothing, and you just paid money, and that's and there's a lot of stuff going on in the card world right now about how this is gambling, and there's people filing class action suits, and so it should be interesting here. In fact, it's about that time. Let's go to our interview.
I remember seeing something also real quick
Yeah,
about
sorry.
about like how it's not just gambling, but it's a product that has been notoriously like marketed and for like children, or like youth.
In the
right?
past, it's not
In the
anymore.
past.
Not anymore. Yeah, it's not. This is for grown-ups. This is big money. This is for grown-ups. I think they should get kids back into it, but how do you do that? And that's the fine line, because then they
like
produce
this,
lower end products,
Right.
And then people bitch about those because there's no good in them. It's dude. Tops can't win. In fact, there's something I did want to talk about. Now I remember the amount of hate for Tops on. Do yourself, like, when you have a minute, if you're on, go to the Instagram or page and look when Tops posts like the cards. I think I did talk about this before, but the comments from people, it is like, dude, Tops can't do anything right with people, like, at all. Like, it's 9 out of 10 comments are pretty much like, these are the worst cards I've ever seen.
When's that new Panini drop?
In April. In April, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll be excited to see that. It's unlicensed. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Some of my friends, I mentioned it, and they're like, "You're not going to buy those. There's no way." I was like, "We'll see." But I got love for you. Let's
Who we
check out.
we got on the show?
We got my guy, Adam. We're gonna give him a holler here in just a minute, and we'll do our introductions, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back with you in just 2 shakes.
All right.
We've got a special guest today, Adam from, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right. Is it Soltani?
Soltani Boyz.
Soltani Boyz. Tell us a little bit about what you do, my man.
Yeah, so I'm about to be 43 this month. So I grew up in the 90s, watching, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the greats, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. Fell in love with basketball, fell in love with collecting things related to basketball. And the easiest thing I get my hands on was trading cards, because my parents didn't have a lot of money at the time, not a lot of resources, and lived in small town Manhattan, Kansas. And there was a store 2 blocks from my house. And so I used to walk there. Mom would give a few dollars and go buy some cards, and just loved collecting them. I actually still have some of my original collection,
Yeah.
which is really neat, but held on to them all these years.
Hmm.
And I've got 2 boys, 10 and 13.
Okay.
And they started getting into trading cards because they started getting into the Thunder. We're season ticket holders living in Oklahoma City.
Awesome.
And the Thunder does something that I didn't realize. I haven't been to a lot of NBA games outside of Oklahoma City's market, that a lot of teams don't do, is that they actually nurture this environment where people can come get, cards or jerseys signed by the players,
That's
both
awesome.
the home team and the visiting team. And so my kids got introduced to it, and they were pretty much hooked.
Yeah.
And so we started ordering a few cards here and there. And next thing you know, we're sitting on so many cards. And I
Yeah.
was like, what are we going to do with them? And someone said, check out this platform called Whatnot. I was familiar with eBay, and I got introduced to it. And I was like, man, I like talking to people. That's what I do. I'm a consultant in my day job, so I do
Okay.
it all day. But I get to talk about something fun and not
Yeah.
so serious. And so we started this, going on back in July, I guess, of 25 is when
Okay.
we started Whatnot.
Oh,
And we're already sitting on tons of Thunder cards, including, the hand signed autograph cards. And that's how we kind of made a name for ourselves. And we call ourselves Soltani Boyz with a Z,
okay.
because it was me and my boys,
Yeah.
the kids doing it. They kind of have abandoned me on the Whatnot side. They do help me with the prep and sometimes packaging,
Okay.
but I do a lot of the shows solo now. But they still love the hobby, and we actually go to card shows locally. I try to teach them the value of what they have, and we grade cards together. It's just been a ton of fun. So that's a little bit about us.
That's awesome. You mentioned, so you guys are out in OKC. Are there a lot of card shows in the area out there?
Man, there didn't used to be, but I would say in the last year, not even last year, maybe the last 6 months, it's just blown up like crazy. I feel like there's
Really?
a card show every weekend, sometimes multiple card shows. This past weekend, would have been the end of February. Went to the fairgrounds, and they had rented out an entire building and had just cards everywhere,
Really?
and met people that, were local vendors, people that had stores in small towns, some people like myself who had started on Whatnot and decided to also set up at card shows. And it's really starting to grow, which is interesting because we don't have a lot of like brick and mortar stores in Oklahoma itself as far as like selling cards. So it's nice that we have a lot of shows, and I think people are realizing I can do that and I don't need to like own a store.
Right, right. So I know you mentioned earlier that you had collected when you were younger.
Yeah.
How when you look at like the hobby today and versus back then, I mean, what are some of the differences that just stick out to you, or what kind of thing? I see you shaking your head because I mean it's a little different, but what were your thoughts when you like came across this new ultra modern product or whatever that's going on versus like when I'm about the same age as you? So
Yeah.
like what are the differences that you noticed?
Man, I had no idea what a numbered card was. I didn't
Right.
understand like parallels, case hits. Like all of this was new to me. Even the idea of pulling an autograph card out of a box. Like I remember, pulling the facsimile autos, like the
Uh-huh.
stamped autos, but like this was a whole new world to me. In a way, it was kind of exciting and thrilling to learn you could like get those out of a box.
Right.
But then as I started to learn about the business side of it, and what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 months with the shift from panini to tops, which I didn't even realize was a thing, because I remember in the 90s we had Fleer, Skybox, Upper
Yep.
Deck.
Yep.
There were many others, and I still have a lot of those cards, and I was like, I thought it was the same way, but it's not. And so anyways,
Right.
I feel like now it's all about, hitting those cases, hitting those number cards, and they keep upping the prices, and that takes some of the fun out of it. I don't think that that means that the fun is gone. It just means you have to approach the hobby in a different way. And what for my kids that like to rip packs, I have to be strategic, you know. So I'm not going to buy, you know, the $600 or $1,000 box that Topps is trying to put out there, because it's too expensive, right?
Do you even find one for that price these days?
If you can, you know,
Right?
you're right. You're right. But what we do is we find products that they like with players they like, and they may be some older products that are still on the market, right? Or some of the niche products that have the players that were rookies that are now on the fund or something like that. So, you know, we still find ways to have fun. And then I think, you know, being able to do other things with the cards besides just rip packs, like, you know, I'm teaching them how to grade cards, or, you know, getting them autographed and getting the autos authenticated. It brings a whole nother element to the collectible side of it.
Right on. Yeah, it's kind of like a shocker. When I've showed Jordan the prices of stuff, because I've been in this world for going on heavy, you know, like full time for the last 4 years or so.
Wow.
And like just he couldn't believe it. I mean, I'm sure you've seen like the higher end Panini products like Flawless.
Oh yeah.
And we actually opened some packs earlier. I got some Sparkle packs from Panini.
Mm.
And yeah,
Well, I mean, and I come from the same. I'm not really into cards now or collecting anything right now, but I was like as a youth. I grew up collecting basketball, baseball, comic books, comic cards. Like I grew up collecting everything.
Right.
And so that's what you know, when he was telling me about, when Sam was telling me about basketball cards, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, like what's
Right.
big deal.
Yeah, what's the big deal? You know?
Right.
And I'm like, oh, maybe some of my old basketball cards have value. And he's like, no. He's
That
like,
is funny.
probably not. He's like, this stuff. He's like showing me the little bits of jersey in the cards. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, it was like my reaction was like yours, of just being like, you know, a whole new world.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a blank world.
What the?
Yeah, yeah. So I was going to ask you that. Do you collect all modern stuff or vintage, or what do you guys focus on for your home collection and your stream?
Yeah.
And how do you keep that separated?
Oh man, yeah. So the good thing is we're mainly focused on Thunder. I mean, that kind of makes it easy. So Thunder is our big PC, you know, personal collection. But my kids have certain players or teams. Like my oldest son, he loves LaMelo Ball and the Hornets, so he's kind of got his own, you know, Hornets collection. My youngest, he's a big Kyrie fan, no matter what team he's on, and also the Cleveland Cavs, and so he's got a little collection of those as well. But yeah, a lot of it is modern because that's what the kids want. They want the players who are playing. But me personally, I have a collection of some of the classics.
Okay.
So I've got some Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. You know, used to play for the Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
He was like the Colin Kaepernick of the NBA back in the 90s.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
English and the guys are.
he was a great player, and his story really stood out to me when I was young. And so I actually, you know, collected some of his cards. I got a chance to meet him a few years ago, and he actually signed some of the cards that I held on to. So I value stuff like that. I still got some of my Jordans, and I never collected Kobe because Kobe was kind of on the tail end of me, you know, pausing the hobby. And so I started collecting Kobe because I feel like for two reasons. One, he is the second best player, in my opinion, after Michael Jordan to ever play.
Okay.
But two, I also feel like, much like Michael Jordan, his cards will hold value for the long term. You know, I don't personally, I don't think that LeBron's value, for example, they want to argue is the greatest, is ever going to be as strong as like Michael Jordan and Kobe. These are two of the greats, right? And so I do value collecting those, and I'm building a collection of those classics because I feel like they'll never, you know, go out of style, so to say.
Totally.
Yeah.
So did you, with any of your older stuff that you had since you were a kid, did you end up grading any of it, or have you ever tried grading any of it?
I recently did. You know, funny thing, it was some of those, I think they were Upper Deck, and they were actually sticker cards that you could peel the stickers of the players off. They called them stickums. I never actually peeled the stickers off, but I found them at my parents' house in a binder. I sent them in to PSA. I didn't know what they get. They came back. I think I did 4 of them, like Dennis Rodman, Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan. I remember one other. They came back as a 6. But for me, it wasn't the grade. It was, I wanted to preserve something from my childhood and be able to pass it on to my kids. So I did that with a few. I don't think I'm going to do it with a ton of things. I will say right here in front of me, I've got a really, this one I actually want to send in to get graded. So I have a card of Michael Cage when he played for the Seattle Supersonics. They call him the Wax Man, right? One of the best defensive players to ever play. And he is the color commentator or the courtside reporter for the Thunder now. And so I took this card last year during the playoffs. I met him and I said, dude, I've got your card at home from when I was a kid. If I bring it up here, will you sign it? He said, yeah, bring it next game. And so I actually want to send this in and get the auto at least graded and authenticated. But yeah, I'm not going to do a ton of that because I feel like they're going to come back as not the best grades because I didn't know what to do when I was a kid and how to take care of them. So,
100%.
I if I grade, it's either to preserve or to hold value. That way, if I or my kids choose to liquidate them at any point, they can because, these things do hold value. So, yeah, I will grade a few, but not a ton. But grading is expensive too, by the way.
I was going to lead into my next question. So, I know you've probably seen PSA and what's happened in the last, I guess, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they announced their price hikes, right?
Yeah.
Is that how, and I want to know because I know how it's affecting me personally because I grade a lot of cards. How is it affecting you? I mean, does that make you grade less?
I only got into grading started doing it in September.
Okay.
Because anytime I see something, I want to learn how it works. And so the easiest way for me, I'm a hands-on person. I was like, I'm just going to dive in and figure it out. Honestly, my first batch of, I think, 5 or 6 cards, I ended up with like 2 10s and 4 9s. So I did pretty good. Beginner's luck. I started to, get some pretty bad grades after that. But my most recent submission of 20 cards, I just got, hasn't arrived yet. Out of 20, I got 13 10s. So I'm learning how to do it better. I have a better eye for it. And also making the difficult decision to say, I'm not going to send something in, even if I want to, knowing that it's not going to grade well. To answer your question, I like grading a lot. I like the process. I like the result. I like it, especially if it's a low number card or a rare card, because even if it's not the best grade, there's preservation right there. The prices are going to cause me to grade less and be more selective. I don't think I'll stop doing it because it's kind of like I'm not going to stop buying Nike shoes just because they get more expensive. I like my Nike shoes. I like my Jordans. They're quality. They last a long time. So, but now, going up $5 per card is going to cause me to say, I may not send as many in, right? Or I may only send the ones in that I feel like are worth it. And I've started to find other companies out there. C3 Grading is one that I actually got introduced to through Whatnot and some other sellers. And I reached out to them directly. And I'm like, guys, I want to know more about what you do. They were so responsive. Their customer service was spot on, that they actually worked with me and made me an authorized dealer so I can get a better price on grading and get faster turnaround times. Not so much for me because this is not a business for me. This is like an extra thing that I do with my family and as a hobby, but I do it so I can get cards to give to my customers, my buyers as a value, right? And I'll get these authenticated autographs. If I can pay $6.50 as an authorized dealer and get it slabbed up and authenticated, I can give you a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, authenticated autograph for around 100 to 150, whatever it goes on Whatnot, compared to $1,500 and waiting 6 months for PSA, right? So to me, it's a way of fighting back against the price hikes. I say all that to say I'm trying to also help better the hobby by showing that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg, right, in order to enjoy this. And I figured I'm in a place that I can help people enjoy something in a way that is not going to cost them a lot of money. And I think that's what set us apart on Whatnot. If you go and look at our reviews and you see what people say, you've been in my stream. We're not about trying to make as much money as possible on a stream. For me, if I'm covering our costs and making more money to put back into the hobby so I can give more value to people. That's what it's all about. And I've made a lot of friendships. I've built a lot of bonds, and it's been a wonderful experience for me and for my kids. So, that's kind of my approach. I don't like where the hobby's headed, but I think there's ways you can fight back against it. You don't have to rely on one company just to do that.
I couldn't have said it better myself, man. And that's why originally, like I had asked you to come on the show just because of I like the energy and there needs to be more of that. I
Yeah.
always say to my close friends that were in this, it's not just about the car, it's about the relationships. And
Oh, yeah.
the cards are the medium that sometimes gets us there, but it's about the people and the relationships.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so that's why
I've met some of the best people, through doing this hobby that I didn't even. It's kind of like a thing I didn't even realize that was going to happen. I started out doing it for my kids, and then I started meeting people and making meaningful connections. And I'll tell you, quick story: I met a 13-year-old young man at the Thunder game the other day, and I was talking to someone else, not to the kid, about a Cooper Flag auto I got graded that was coming in.
Okay.
And he overheard me, and he's like, "Man, I got a little collection of Cooper Flag autos. I'm very interested." I was thinking to myself, "You're 13, dude. I mean, this is probably going to be between $800 to $1,000 car. Like, come on, like." But I was like, I was like, "Okay, yeah, if you're interested, let me know." But I didn't really think much of it. Well, he came up to my wife, who was there with us at the Thunder game, and he's like, "Hey, your husband said he's got a Cooper Flag auto. Can I get your information? I want to contact him." So she gave him my number, and then I ran into him and his dad after the game. And so, anyways, met his father, started talking. Next thing you know, he comes to my house with his dad, and he had saved up his money and he bought the autograph. I gave him a discount. Okay, I was very fair with my price. Way under comps, because I was like, "Dude, I mean, you're such an awesome young man. I want to do you a solid." And I gave him some extra cards on top of that.
Heck yeah.
But then him and his brother and his daddy was homeschooled, so it was in the middle of the day. My kids weren't home. They sat around. For an hour, we started talking about life and religion and politics and society, and it was just like a fun afternoon. And cards, like you said, were the medium that connected us, and so it was really cool. And I really enjoy building the relationships a lot when it comes to the hobby.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's the kind of stuff I like to hear.
Yeah, that's great.
That's really rad. So how often do you stream, and do you have a set time or anything that you guys, or do you guys just kind of like, people need to check out you got Instagram, all that stuff?
Yep.
We'll post that up on the show, of course.
Yeah.
Where people can find you.
Yeah.
How often do you guys run your streams, or just is it randomly, or you guys?
No, not really random. Yeah, we do have the Instagram. Started doing some YouTube videos, trying to provide some more opportunity to engage with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're pretty regular on Whatnot. We try to do weekly shows. Ideally, I would like to start doing twice a week. But it's hard. I mean, schedule is kind of crazy. Work, and then kids, and they have sports. My kids do football and basketball.
You said you're doing all the heavy lifting here, right?
They do help on the front and back end. That's
okay. On the shipping and stuff.
Yeah. And they do help with the packaging and prep and all that. But also the Thunder games, right? So we have to work around the Thunder schedule, which
they got a lot of games.
If it's an away game, if it's an away game, I'll put it on in the background while I stream, and I'll talk about it on the stream. So yeah, I try to keep it once a week, but like, for example, sometimes I can get in an extra, hour or two session during the week, and I'll add that in. And then I try to pre-plan, like I had my Slab Fest recently. It was the second one I did where I sold just, like 200 slabs. And so I'm trying to do these fun theme shows.
Yeah.
I planned one at the end of the season, between the regular season and the playoffs. I'm going to call it Road to the Finals, and it's going to be all Thunder stuff, right? And so I'm trying to do stuff like that. So yeah, I always keep shows planned out that people can bookmark. They're not right now as regular as I'd like, but I try to do them on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, depending on how the schedule looks.
Gotcha.
But I think also that variety helps, because some people can't join a night show; they'll join a day show, right? Or if Saturday doesn't work, Sunday is better. So it kind of helps me connect with new people as well.
Awesome. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your I always usually ask this, but what's your favorite flavor of Gatorade?
I don't have one. I don't really care for Gatorade. I am a Coke Zero and Red
Okay.
Bull kind of guy.
Okay, Red
Um,
Bull. I'll let that pass.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Red Bull. And I love my coffee. So I'm a
Okay.
big coffee drinker. Hot coffee, not iced coffee.
Like an iced triple mocha latte soy.
Definitely not all those things.
Okay.
I can do an ice cold brew in the summer, but I can't go without my hot cup of coffee, at least a few in the morning, and then
Okay.
the afternoon, Coke Zero or Red Bull for pick me up. I probably have one or two Gatorades a year. My kids
Okay.
love it,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, otherwise I do a lot of water. So
Okay. Okay. It's just you're supposed to answer. There's only one flavor of Gatorade, and that's lemon lime. And so I put
oh, is there was a correct
No,
answer?
see, not gonna get. Don't get me started.
But I don't even like Gatorade. But if I was, I'd get the orange one.
Lemon lime.
Okay, okay.
You got any questions for this gentleman?
No, man, I appreciate you being on the
Yeah.
show and letting us know a little bit about your stream. And so, what's your Instagram handle so we can put it up?
Soltani Boyz.
Sultani
Yeah.
Boyz also.
So YouTube, Instagram,
Yep.
whatnot, Soltani Boyz. And
BOYZ.
here's a cool thing I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So this was completely unplanned, but after the most recent home game, it was the first time that the Nuggets and the Thunder met this season, right?
Yeah.
So we had that intense rivalry during the playoffs last year, and that kind of spilled over into the home,
They were getting it.
oh man, they were at it.
That was intense, man.
It was an intense game. We went way in advance because the kids wanted to get their autographs, and Shea was back for the first time after several weeks.
Yep.
So we did all that. The game was intense. It went into overtime, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
Pulled it out. Thank goodness.
Yeah, we won, and it was late. It was a late start in Oklahoma, so it was like 8:30 start. So it ended at 11:30, and the kids were like, "Let's go out to where the players leave." And there's an area where they actually fence off outside the arena, and you can stand there when the players leave, and they will stop some of them, and they'll sign. Isaiah Hartenstein, Jared McCain, even though he's relatively new to us, and AJ Mitchell are pretty regular, and some others will stop from time to time. Well, Chet Holmgren has stopped 2 or 3 times the whole season, randomly picked one or two people out from the crowd and signed something for them.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of guy, I was tired, right? It was late. I had been at work all week. I was like, guys, let's just go. He's not going to stop. It's just too random, And my kids were insistent, and I was coming down with a cold. Anyways, it was like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. All players had left. I was like, maybe he snuck out. I mean, let's just leave. And like, no, let's just
They're
wait.
waiting for Chet.
A car comes pulled up, and my oldest son grabs the Chet jersey he's been carrying to every game, and he goes and he starts waving it at the edge. Well, most people had left by that point. There was probably 24 people there. And he said, Chet, Chet, Chet. And so this car passes him. And I said, see, waited for no reason is what I'm thinking to myself. Well, it pulls down, not the driver's side, the passenger side window, and it talks to the security guard, who's an off-duty police officer. The police officer walks around to the driver's side, and you see the window roll down, and it's Chet. And he says, where's the kid that was jumping at the edge of this fence? I was like, the kid, that was my son, right? And I was looking, where did he go? Well, he had run to the other end because he followed the car. I said, over here. So he ran to me, and the officer said, no, you come around. Chet wants to see you. Wow. And so I say all that because if you go on our Instagram, you will see we posted a picture where Chet wrote to Soltani Boyz, and he signed it, autographed it, and wrote number 7.
Oh, heck yeah.
Here's the funniest part. My son said, Chet said, who do you want me to write it to? He said, well, it's for me and my brother. He left dad out of it. He said, can you write it to Soltani Boyz? And he's like, I got you. Well, he actually wrote Soltani Boyz, not knowing that is the way we branded,
that's rad,
collectible stuff. And so it was almost so perfect that happened, and the moment I saw it, I was like, no way, yeah, we've got it hung up in the closet. We're going to frame it. And maybe in, some future streams, we'll show it off a little bit, but it was just one of those really special moments that shows how, amazing this hobby can be,
Yeah.
and how it can make a huge impact on people. But I think it's really cool for kids, and I love that my kids get to experience it. And I just want to, hope that we can, encourage other young people to get involved and make it accessible for them along the way.
That story honestly gave me goosebumps because I'm like, dude, that is so awesome. And I saw like, I've never been a big fan of like Hargenstein, but I saw his foundation and stuff recently.
Yeah.
Man, that's outstanding. I don't know. Some, there's a lot of, we always focus on all the negatives and stuff that's going on around us. Man, there's some really awesome people doing some good
Yeah.
stuff out there. And just, man, that makes me feel good. It makes
Yeah.
me feel like, maybe everything's not as bad as they want us to think it is, right?
Yeah. And there's hope that you may become a Thunder fan too. So
my partner, she's from OKC, and so
Okay.
yeah, and we've got family members that have season tickets. No,
there you go.
I'm more like, honestly, I'm a Players fan a lot of times, but I
Sure.
followed Shea for a minute.
Yeah.
He's amazing. Chet, I like the Thunder. I'll admit it.
There you go. Who doesn't like the Thunder, right?
I mean, they've been. I mean, I remember the first playoff run they made. With
Yeah.
Shea, and oh man, and just awesome to see them come around and just develop, and just their unit, the way that they work, as you can tell that they got love for each other, and that's
Yeah.
why they win.
Yeah.
And that's because they work well together. You can look at the Lakers and like you get Luka, all these some of the best guys ever to play the game, but you can't make them work together. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot to be said about that.
True. We're gonna have to have a part 2 and just talk about the Thunder culture. That's a whole
Anytime, man.
different conversation.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we're gonna post up everything, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Appreciate
Take care,
it.
Adam.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you. So.